Good evening, everybody. It's just after 7 on a Monday night, and it's time to go wild. Welcome to the Time to Go Wild radio show here on Halton Community Radio 92.3 FM. We are also live across the internet on ws.hcr923fm.com/listen and on TuneIn. You can contact the show, radio@widnesworld.co.uk, and via Facebook and Twitter.com/TTGW Radio. You can contact us by telephone 01928 835 291 and by text 07716 672 874. Start your messages with TTGW. All messages charged at your standard network rate. I hope you're ready. It's time to go wild. Evening, Doug.
Good evening, how are you?
Well, I managed to get a bit of rest after the edits from last night, and just 1 or 2 goals.
It was very difficult. I was tweeting last night. I was like, my little fingers worn to the bone.
Well, we better go and do hit the button and do the results.
Yep.
Okay, time for the classified results from across the Elite Ice Hockey League and the NIHL Division 1 North 1 and 2 for the last week. Starting from Saturday in the Elite League Challenge Cup, Coventry Blaze 5, Guildford Flames 2. Moving back a bit in time now with the Elite Ice Hockey League games. Wednesday the 15th, Belfast Giants 4, Nottingham Panthers 5 after overtime. Dundee Stars 3, Cardiff Devils 1, Milton Keynes Lightning 3, Guildford Flames 2 after a shootout. Moving to Saturday in the Elite League, Manchester Storms 7, Edinburgh Capitals 1, Cardiff Devils 6, Fife Flyers 8, Braehead Clan 3, Dundee Stars 2. Moving to Sunday in the Elite League, Nottingham Panthers 7, Cardiff Devils 4, Belfast Giants 9, Manchester Storm 3, Milton Keynes Lightning 0, Braehead Clan 1, Edinburgh Capitals 5, Coventry Blaze 2, Guildford Flames 6 and Fife Flyers 1. Now moving into the NIHL Division 1 North Morley for Saturday. Telford Tigers D1 11, Dragons D1 1, Solway Sharks 3, Hull Pirates 6. And moving to Sunday the 19th in the Morley, Hull Pirates 20, Dragons D1 3, Sheffield Steel Dogs 5, Whitley Warriors 2, Solihull Barons 6, Blackburn Hawks D1 2, Nottingham Lions 0, Telford Tigers D1 9. Moving into the NIHL Division 2 North Laidler for Saturday the 18th of November. Hull Jets 8, Coventry Blaze NIHL 1, Dragons D2 12, Blackburn Hawks D2 3, Sutton Sting 5, Altrincham Aces 0. And finally, for Sunday the 19th of November, Blackburn Hawks D2 0, Hull Jets 16, Telford Tigers D2 4, Bradford Bulldogs 2, Coventry Blaze NIHL 4, Sheffield Senators 3, and the big one of the weekend, Widnes Wild 11, Dragons D2 6. And that's the results from the last week across the Elite League and the NIHL Division 1 North 1 and 2. And we'll bring you more results next week. Well, it was a bit of a different game that last night, wasn't it? From the week before. I was
just thinking, I'm going to commiserate with Blackburn Hawks. They had a terrible weekend.
Yeah, Hawks 2.
Yeah, Hawks 2. They had a really bad weekend.
Yeah, so the Dragons won.
Yes.
Yeah, a bit of a drubbing there. And
Dragons 2 did better.
Yes, they did. They did. And that was a big win for Dragons 2. Well, may as well hear a few thoughts from the weekend, because we managed to pick up a couple of people. I think we'll start with Ollie.
Hi, it's Doug Brown for Time to Go Royal Radio at Silver Blaze Ice Rink in Widnes, and talking to team coach Ollie Barron. How do you think tonight's game went, Ollie?
Quite good in the end. Thought we had good spells in the first period, and then we sort of stopped playing. Sort of 10 minutes in, we allowed them back in. And the second period didn't really go to plan, and we were really poor performance I felt in the second. Then we needed a reaction in the third, because what we can't afford to do is stop playing against certain teams where we think we're just guaranteed a win, and D-side punished us. Fair play to them, they kept working. We needed a reaction in that third, and we got it back to basics and put some away and put the game to bed. But it was important that we stepped it up and picked it up in that third.
Do you think D-side have improved from the start of the season?
It's hard to tell. We haven't played them. Obviously, they got the first win Saturday night, so that were an impressive scoreline. They put, I think, 12 past Blackburn, I believe, and we could only put 6 past them last week. So they must be improving, to be fair. And I know it's not easy for them guys. They took some heavy defeats, but one thing they will do is work hard for 60 minutes, and that's what they did tonight.
How does your new signing fit in?
Yeah, it's an exciting prospect to have. It adds a lot of competition. Young fast forward that worked hard tonight, so I'm excited to see what he brings for the rest of the year.
So where did you beat him?
Well, didn't know him personally. Obviously, we played against him last year, and I think I said on the press release when we announced him that we've been fairly short on some games, so we were looking to bring a few new bodies in. Obviously, we brought Dippy back, which is a big signing for us. He adds a lot of quality, and I think with Kyle it adds a lot of further options and competition for places, which is what we need to be doing if we want to finish top of this league, and that's our aim. So we've got a lot of competition for players, and it's exciting to see him progress as the weeks go on.
Well-deserved MVP for him.
I think so, yeah. He worked hard. It was not easy. I think we only got him on the game sheet 10-15 minutes before we allowed him to do warm-up, but it weren't cleared until just before face-off. So good for him to get back up to speed, because he had a few weeks off after leaving Blackburn. So yeah, he worked hard and grabbed the goal and put in a good performance.
Yeah, thanks very much, Ollie. Thanks for that.
Cheers.
Time to go Wild Radio, catching up with Dragons' Dave Priestley. So Dave, your take on that game?
Yeah, I thought it was a great game. Good tempo. Brilliant crowd as always at Widnes, like home rink, like only live in Widnes as well. But thought we'd give them a good game in first and the second. Bit sloppy in the third with all the penalties, but I thought the guys come together. It's a great win. We've come so far. Beating Blackburn yesterday, I think it was 12-3, and then coming here today in front of familiar faces, familiar friends, and giving them a good game. What they pay for.
The second period definitely was almost a turning point for the Dragons, making it a one-goal game at the end of that. I mean, that must have been a big boost in the dressing room.
Yeah, it was a one-goal game. We won the period 3-2. That was a bonus. We went in there with our heads held high. We come out with our heads held high. I just thought all round it was a cracking game. Like, love the Wild lads, and obviously good luck to them in the season and all that.
So last night you had a really big win. That must have been a really big turning point for everybody.
Yeah. It was I think it was the rival game, the bottom end of the table game. I think Blackburn come in thinking that they were going to walk all over us. They started throwing the body round, and I think some of our lads are bigger and better than them, and just got the better of them. I think they just went downhill from there.
Well, it's going to be a tough end of the season for, both teams, because of course one team's fighting for the title and the other ones are fighting to make sure they don't get the wooden spoon. So how do you feel things are going to pan out for the rest of the season for Dragons too?
Yeah, we're not coming bottom, let's put it that way. Blackburn's coming bottom.
Well, glad to have some optimism in the dressing room.
Yeah, cheers, Cole.
All right, thanks very much. And off the back of that, our comments, we may as well do a couple of quick announcements, which helps us bring in our guest for the evening. Because, of course, Widnes Wild signed Carl Haslam last week from the Blackburn, played for Blackburn Hawks and Hawks under-20s in the past. And another big signing that was announced, or change, was John Anderson stepping down as Wild General Manager. We have to thank John, of course, for all the work he's put in over the years with the Wild. And the appointment of a new General Manager who is our guest this evening. Is he not, Doug?
He is, and it's Mike Teinert.
Evening, Mike. Welcome back.
Good evening.
A new hat on today, isn't it? You're not here representing the Riverside Raiders, in new colours.
Yeah, got to wear a different hat tonight completely and come at it from a different angle.
Instead of purple, black and white, you're in gold, black and white.
Gold, black and white tonight, yes.
Mind you, purple's one of the colours this year as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's the warm-up shirt. So, it could be confused. You put your Raider shirt on and it should be putting the warm-up colours on. Well, welcome to the Wild in a more formal capacity, and how did that come about?
Yeah, well, so I've been helping Elves in the background for a good few weeks now, really. Matt put a call into me as soon as John had made the announcement, and he'd had a chat with us about it, and just approached me and asked if I'd like to come on board and help out in a more formal capacity and obviously take on the GM role. So, enlighten everyone. So, what sort of things do you take care of then, as in your general manager role? I've taken care of so far. Well, yeah, I mean, the general manager role really is looking after everything from making sure any game sheets are available, making sure the kit is available for the team, and at the end of the day, trying to look after the players as well in the best of my ability, and trying to keep them under control if that's actually possible to do.
Yeah, especially we know a couple of them who like to have a bit of a lark about, but I noticed you actually got a promotion as well from general manager to water boy.
Hey, there's jobs you've got to be done when you're playing for you're coaching a team, and you're playing for a team, you're managing a team. You've got to just get stuck in and do what needs to be done.
High profile job though is water boy. It's a very responsible job, isn't it?
You've got to make sure you have the highest quality water available for your team, obviously at all times.
And I take it there's no jelly sweets or anything that you're stashing away anywhere in the sin bin for them, just in case they decide they need a sugar rush during a penalty.
Well, that'd be giving away secrets, wouldn't it?
That's one of Hull's secrets, actually. Yes, that was always a trick over at Hull, where they always had Haribos and stuff in the sin bin. A few players would always take a penalty just to get their mitts on the Haribos. So, well, we've heard from Ollie, we've heard from Dave. Your thoughts on last night's game?
Yeah, well, last night was a little bit of a difficult game, probably a little bit different than the other teams we've played so far this season. I mean, I played myself, I was probably about half a dozen of my teammates from last year playing on the D-side team, so quite welcoming to see them all back at Widnes, but obviously they're a kind of team that you play against and you don't really know how to expect them to be playing against you. They don't play like you would do a traditional NIHL team, because they're coming out of a lot of the lads have probably just taken the first step up into league hockey this year from rec hockey, so it was an interesting game to play, put it that way. Yeah,
I mean, it's very, very, very different kind of pace, very different kind of skills set, more unpredictable.
Yeah, I mean, you're playing with against the league team, you can sometimes predict the way lots of the plays, look at the movements are going to be made, but it's the unpredictability of the playing against the former rec team, really, that does lead a bit of surprise and unfortunately sometimes can lead to a few injuries as well. So
I mean, from the point of view of a spectator, when I've watched the Raiders play, you actually play quite well as a unit, and you won the playoffs.
Yeah, won the playoffs last year. Yeah.
So you won the playoffs last year. So the team that you put together, the team that went to the Dragons, were actually quite good.
Yeah.
So when they came to visit us for the first time, it's always a bit of a local derby with us and D-side anyway. So yeah. I think they stepped up.
They did definitely. Yeah. I mean, there's one that obviously their main scorer last night, Gez. He was obviously our leading scorer from the Raiders last year, so he's a brilliant player to begin with, and obviously stepping up to play in the league and enjoying his hockey over there as well. And this year they've just the D-side guys have just got really nothing to prove. They're there to have fun.
Yeah, nothing to lose, everything
to gain, and enjoy the game.
Yeah, I mean, some of the finishing last night was actually very nice, and it's one of these tough ones for a goaltender, because I'm just looking at the goaltending stats. The total shots on goal on Phil Crosby was 27, but Tegan Lavery in the D-side goal, 62 shots, and I mean, you could see some of them going past Phil, and normally he'd save them, and he's cold.
Yeah,
it's a complete difference to the game against Sutton from last week, where it was fast and furious, and both goaltenders were so on fire. They weren't actually, I suppose in some ways a goaltender can get to a point where they're not actually watching the game, they're working on pure instinct, it's reactions, and they're so quick they don't have to think, they just do.
Yeah, those types of games are very difficult for a netminder. Like you say, you play the game, you're full on all the time, you're 100% focused on where the puck is all the time, but if you're playing vast majority of the time the game's up in the other end, and you're not really, well, I'm not saying you're not paying attention, but you're losing concentration to a little extent because you've just not got the puck coming at you all the time constantly, and then it's suddenly on a break and you've got to wake up and they're coming at us now.
Yeah, I mean, also for the players, it's a very tricky kind of style to play against in a way, because it's the unpredictability of how somebody's going to come at you with the way they skate, the way they handle the puck, the way they move. It can be a lot more tricky.
Oh yeah, there's quite a few of the lads who've just got, from I'd view it, quite an unnatural skating style. And obviously you've got some of the guys there who want to try and make the names and put a few hits in there just to show that they are here. They're not just here to make up the numbers. They are here to actually basically show up and give us a game.
Yeah, and there were times when we were definitely caught sleeping for sure.
Oh yes.
That second period, I mean, whereas 3-2 to D-side that second period. I mean, we thought we'd done all the damage in the first at 3-1, but no, they really stepped
up.
When
a team gets a bit of impetus, though, we've seen it time in, time out, even for ourselves. When we were away at Sheffield and we were down 2 or 3-0, and 3 quick goals and you're back in the match.
Yeah.
And it's just that impetus and the self-belief.
Well, just looking at the times of the 3 goals, 27, 29 and 34 minutes. It's a very short spell. Yeah. Bang 3 goals in, and next thing you know, it's like the home team there, the Wild, they were, what's going on?
Well, I think after that second period, we all went back into that home changing room, and it was stone cold. The atmosphere in there was cold. It really was. And I mean, as a spectator and a fan, you probably don't see a lot of this behind the scenes, but there's the likes of Ollie, the likes of Simon. They've got passion. They are really, really passionate about this team, and if you see them how they were speaking in that changing room after, you could see that passion coming out, that they were just not impressed with how the team had played. But credit to them, they spoke to the boys, they spoke to both Si and Gilly and Ollie. They all spoke to the team, and they just rallied them, and they give them a bit of a kick up the backside.
Oh yeah, I mean, the third period, I mean, they came out, and within the first 3 minutes 2 power play goals had gone in. And actually, first 4 minutes, 3 goals, and in fact, that third goal in the first period was scored by our debutant, Carl Haslam. That was a very nice goal as well from Carl.
Very nicely taken goal with that.
He's proved that he's not got any rust on his skates this joining the Wild now. So yeah, I mean, it was a really impressive performance from Carl, I must admit. He's not afraid to sort of throw the checks around, and he skates fast. He gets into the right places at the right time.
No, he's another player who really wants to earn his vest.
I think he's definitely in terms of fast skaters, he's giving Mikey a run for his money. Yeah.
Well, it was quite good watching him, Mikey, and Matty Barlow. Were on one line at one stage, and Kyle was looking, which is quite, because I'm stood across from you where you're doing your filming, and you could see Kyle looking up to see where the players were, which is a good thing for the team, because it means you haven't got a selfish player, you've got someone who's going to be a team player. And if he sees the opportunity is better for someone else, he's going to pass it.
Plus, he's fresh to the squad, so he's got to look a bit more. He won't necessarily know where the players are, which is also good, because it means no one's playing on instincts. So you genuinely are watching the game, which is a good plus for everybody as well. I
know last year when we played Blackburn Eagles, Kyle was one of the players that stood out. Has been particularly good.
Yeah.
I think he scored quite a few goals for the Eagles, didn't he, last year?
We'll probably find some of his stats in a little bit. Well, we're going to take a little break for a little bit of music, and your first choice, I think, Mike. A bit of AC/DC, I think you wanted?
I think we were, yes, definitely.
Hopefully, it's going to start off quiet and come in, but what one is it you wanted?
It was, it's going to have a bit of a familiar song, really, for all the fans down at Widnes who are looking at Thunderstruck.
And now on Time to Go Wild Radio, it is time to sit back and relax and enjoy Mike Marr's Monday Mantra.
Last night's game, our plan was not to underestimate D-side, but we obviously didn't remember that, because for the first 2 periods, we did. In the end, we did what was needed to get the 2 points. We needed to move on from last night's performance and prepare for the big weekend against Sheffield and Hull.
Join us again next week for more wise words on Mike Marr's Monday Mantra.
This is Time to Go Wild Radio here on Halton Community Radio 92.3 FM. You can contact us, of course, on text 07716 672 874 with your thoughts on the weekend. Start your text with TTGW and we'll let you know. We've also got radio at widnesworld.co.uk if you want to send a longer message in by email. So quick reminder of all the bits and bobs that are going on. Don't forget to check out widnesworld.co.uk for everything to do with your Puckers Pals, highlights, podcasts, tickets and sponsors information. Also, the own and loan shirts are out there. We've only got a couple left.
We've got 3 left.
We've got 3 left. Well, I know there's 2 for definite, and one is one of Danny Brace's, one's Nick Manning's.
No, all the Danny Brace girls have gone.
Oh, they've all gone? Oh!
Yes. We have Nick Manning's warm-up and Carl Haslam's away and warm-up.
Well,
That's
there you go.
Left.
3 left to pick up for your Christmas boxes in as a IOU. And for those people who are still interested in going to Sheffield this weekend, the coaches depart at 11:30 in the morning. Check things out through the Widnes Wild Ones Facebook and Twitter pages. For Supporters Club members, £4. Non-Supporters Club members, £7. And a child with a paying adult is £1. So, what else is going on out there, Doug?
Well, we've got the up and coming events. Saturday the 25th, we're away to the Sheffield Senators. The face-off is at 15:30. On Sunday the 26th, the Wild are at home to the Hull Jets. On Sunday the 3rd of December, the Widnes Wild women take on the MK Falcons. On Sunday the 10th of December, the Widnes Wild take on the Bradford Bulldogs. Also on Sunday the 10th of December, the MK Falcons play the Widnes Wild women away, and the face-off for that is 18:30. The women are going to be really busy. On Sunday the 17th of December, the Nottingham Vipers play the Widnes Wild women. Again, the face-off for that one is 17:30. And the men take on Sunday the 17th of December. There's the big one. It's Widnes Wild against the Sutton Sting away. Face off at 4:15. And the last one on the sheet is on Saturday the 23rd of December. The Bradford Bulldogs play the Widnes Wild in Bradford at 5 o'clock, and I think a curry afterwards is called for.
The Christmas curry.
Yes.
Well, a couple of news items. Things that have been happening in and around the leagues. In the Elite League, a few movers and changes at Guildford Flames. Andy McKinney has left the Guildford Flames for personal reasons, and they have signed 17-year-old Richard Crowe on an under-23s contract, and Jeff Walker has also signed with the Guildford Flames to boost their forward lines. Meanwhile, over in Belfast, David Rutherford has returned to the club after leaving in the summer and coming out of retirement. But Matt Bissonette has decided to leave the Belfast Giants for personal reasons. Now, a couple of big articles of things going on. If I can get the computer. We have the GB Under-20s squad name, which we'll discuss in a couple of moments with Mike, but another big one is from the Sheffield Steelers. The Steelers are looking to bring the Continental Cup to the UK. And from the statement on the Elite League website, Sheffield Steelers owner Tony Smith has confirmed plans are underway to try and bring the Continental Cup final to the UK. Paul Thompson's side confirmed their place in January's final group with a 4-2 victory over Latvian side Kurbads Riga, and Smith revealed discussions have begun to try and host the event and have been positive so far. The arena have been positive, Smith said. Our first talks have been positive, and we have already confirmed to the IIHF that we wish to bring the event to Sheffield. We would like to ensure that the Continental Cup final would be a massive showpiece event, and that the IIHF and Continental Cup organising committee would be proud of it. I'm thrilled to have qualified and congratulate the whole team on the amazing weekend they've had. We are all very proud of their achievement. Steelers will play Junost Minsk, who they faced in this round in Rungsted, as well as Nomad Astana, I think I got that right, of Kazakhstan, and Italian side Ritten, who qualified from their other group. It's the second year in a row the British team will take part in the Continental Cup final after the Nottingham Panthers, who went on to win the competition last year. So, some interesting news items there. And one more before we go on to the Cup. Onto the GB Under-20 squad. The EIHA are holding an EGM on the 25th of November. All details are on the eiha.co.uk website, but their main strapline is to get members involved in a governance review that could change the way the sport is governed in England in the future. Further details on eiha.co.uk. So, gents, your thoughts on the EIHA EGM?
Yeah, well, it's kind of a move where it's probably been on the books for quite a few years, actually, with how the numerous different bodies that are currently in place throughout, well, England, Scotland, throughout all different types of leagues, that they just need to be looking at trying to bring everyone together and try and run it under one umbrella.
Yeah, it could. Particularly after the shake-up we had in the summer with the unfortunate demise of the English Premier League within the IHA structure and the amalgamation and move around of different clubs into the EIHA and IHL leagues. It's important that the structure leaves the leagues competitive, doesn't it?
Oh yes, you have to have that, and you also have to have some clarity, because I'm sure Michael will bear us out on this, where when you have to go to Scotland there's different rules that you have to comply with.
Yeah, I mean, even from rec level up to the higher league levels, if you're wanting to play even a friendly team from up in Scotland, you're having to get a special dispensation to actually be able to play those teams. It's not just a simple case of registering a game against these teams. You've got to get a release from the IHA rec section, then you've got to get approval from the Scottish rec section. It's just ridiculous at times.
Red tape after red tape. And to be honest, I mean, from my own perspective of following hockey in Britain, it was a big step down for a couple of teams after the demise of the British National League, when teams like Fife Flyers and the Dundee Stars dropped from the British National League into the Scottish National League, where a team like Hull, the then Hull Stingrays, were able to drop into the English Premier League and then go from the English Premier League into the Elite League, where the drop down to the Scottish National League was much bigger, a step down in terms of the overall strength, professionalism. I'm not belittling the league, just the overall structure and the strength of the players was a lot lower and more probably closer to the IHA and IHL leagues.
Yeah,
D1,
I'd probably say that's very good.
So it's a big drop when you've been playing an 8 import standard that they were playing in the British National League, to drop down to effectively a 1 or non-import league, and it hurt those teams, and it took a long time for them to eventually sort of build up enough impetus and then reapply and then join up to the Elite League, which then is a big change in the way in which the team runs and the players they use and the training and the coaching and everything again.
Yeah, the money involved was obviously a massive step up when they're going back up to the Elite League.
Yeah, so it would be good to sort of get a bit more fluidity between the Scottish and English leagues, and
we should make it
improve competition.
You'd hope it would make it easier to have one set of rules or one governing body where you haven't got to talk to two when you go up.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, I mean, again, this is more of my personal. I'm not trying to put anything but my personal view of what I've seen. But when you've got Scottish teams in the elite league and it's all one body, and then when you step down a tier, Scotland and England are completely separated, and it must be tricky.
It is very tricky. Just organising a simple game is just it's far more difficult than it needs to be.
So, well, as and when we hear news of the EGM, we will let people know. I mean, we are interested to hear what people have to say. We've also got a few things to look at. Doug's hopefully got the page open on the GB Under-20 squad. It is on for those people who do want to look at it, it is available on eliteleague.co.uk. And some interesting players we've got on there. We've got Lewis Baldwin playing in defence from Blackburn Hawks, Stuart Kerr from Solway Sharks, Oliver Stone is on 2-0 between Swindon Wildcats and the Coventry Blaze. Looking for a couple of others that people might recognise. Kieran Brown from the Blackburn Hawks D1 team and the Sheffield Steelers. He's got a slot on the under-20s team. Jordan, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, Buesa, Buesa, apologies if I pronounced it wrong, from the Solway Sharks and Braehead Clan two-way. Sam Duggan, another name that rings a bell. He's in Sweden at the moment. So, look for a couple of others that might ring a bell to people. There's a few people, let's see. Jordan Lordy from Cardiff Fire in goal. But Adam Finlayson from Whitley Warriors. We've got Scott Henderson from Solway Sharks, Carl Johnson from Solway Sharks, and Ash Smith from the Hull Pirates has made it onto the roster. Jordan Stokes from Telford Tigers and Coventry Blaze NIHL, who has some interesting names have made that roster, and it's looking good. Looks a pretty decent team, that.
It doesn't. It shows a strength in depth with the younger players as well.
And a number of them are over in America. You've got Harry Gulliver, you've got Craig Garrigan, Sam Duggan, as I've just mentioned. If we look down the pages, and Ethan James at SS Stallions in Canada. Bradley Jenian, he's at South Shore Kings in the USA. So we've got some young players over in the States as well, getting some experience, which will be really, really good.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously good to have the young lads who are taking the time out to hone their skills over in the States and over in the Canada, and I mean, obviously a few homegrown players and mixing up with the big boys over there. It's great to see.
So we'll be looking forward to that. Their tournament, I had the details written down somewhere. Where did I have it?
Now we're playing Estonia, Japan, Korea, Netherlands and Romania.
That's it. It's the IIHF Under-20s World Championship. Division 2A is taking part in Dumfries starting on December 10th. So we wish the team and head coach Slava Kulikov all the best with that. Have a little breather for a little bit more music, chaps?
Yes.
How about a bit of Foo Fighters?
I think it'd be
and No Way Back. It's that time for quiz time. Yes, courtesy of our friends at EIHA. Time to look at the You Make the Call quiz. So, from last week's quiz, let's see how well everyone did. Question 1 from week 6. A player's penalty has expired and he is leaving the penalty box. Before he gets out of the box, he plays the puck with his stick on the ice but with his skates still in the sin bin. What's the call? Any idea? Is there a penalty? Isn't it a penalty? Come on, guys. Any ideas what you would think it would be?
I'd probably say no penalty.
Mike?
I'd be saying the penalty expired. So I'll be saying no penalty.
Well, funny, I was chatting with Mark Gillingham, and there is a penalty, and it is interference. And to basically give the shortened version, it's basically because the player's skates and both of the skates have to be on the ice. So, yeah. So that's the rough answer to that one. There is a longer, more drawn-out one, but yeah, in short, both skates have to be on the ice for him to actually play the puck. Otherwise, it's classed as interference. Right. Now, question 2 is an interesting one. An attacking player deliberately directs the puck into the goal by intentionally turning their foot to change the direction of a puck. Is there a call to be made, and if so, what is the determining factor? Come on, Mike.
Obviously, my initial reaction would be the no goal, on the basis that they have made an intentional movement towards the goal to direct the puck into the goal with their feet.
I would have gone with that as well, but
it's the kicking, isn't it?
Yes. Is it deemed intentional kicking or not? And basically, that's the main difference. It's a goal unless they can deem it to be intentional kicking movement. So, final question. This is an interesting one. Won't go through the full answer. There's a long answer and a short answer. Team A have a penalty signalled against them, delayed, and Team B ice the puck. Where's the resulting face-off? Come on, Mike. No? Well, the answer is the face-off is in Team A's defending zone. Icing is not the reason to change the face-off location after a penalty call. So there we go.
A penalty obviously takes precedence.
Yep. I thought it would be the penalty takes precedence. So, brings us to this week.
Question 1.
So, question 1 then, Doug. Come on.
How many alternate captains can a team have?
Mike, come on. You're a GM now.
I'll be going for 3.
Are you going for 3 letters or 3 alternates?
I'll be going for 3 alternates.
Why would you have 3?
I'll be thinking on the lines of that, obviously, we could have 1 player injured and we could have 2 players in the box at the same time. So I've got to have at least 1 player there on the ice who can be speaking to the officials. Something along those lines, I believe. I was discussing this with Mark and I kind of know the answer. But my gut, without going with the answer with Mark, my gut would be on your game sheet you have a captain and 2 alternates. But ironically, under the EIHA fixtures live, you have to name a captain because it won't let you start the game on the electronic game sheet without having somebody named as captain. But I'll go with 2. You have to have 3 people with letters, 1 with a C and 2 A's. But so that's my take on it, Doug.
Well, I've only ever seen 2 alternates. So I would presume that if people could have 3, then they would.
Well, I think the main one with that is the one team that was an exception to that was the Vancouver Canucks a number of years ago in the National Hockey League, where they had 3 alternates on the ice because their captain was the goaltender, Roberto Luongo, but he was club captain, so they had 3 A's on the ice because he couldn't be officially a captain.
No, he couldn't talk to people, could he? Really?
So, okay, question 2.
Can a captain argue a penalty call?
I think he can discuss it.
I say argue would be a bit forceful.
Yeah, I think that's the point of realistically having your captains and alternates on the ice. They're the ones who can not argue the call on the ice, but they can question it and ask reasoning for it to be given. So,
is it very rare that a penalty actually gets changed?
I wouldn't say it gets changed, but I've known a captain get a penalty for arguing a call with the ref.
I'm not saying that, but I mean, from the point of view, is there any point in a captain actually arguing to get a penalty changed? Because if they never get changed, then is there actually a point to doing it?
I think sometimes it's the severity.
Yeah, it's the severity of the actual decision that's given, I think. I mean, it's when you're on the ice, it's a completely different kettle of fish anyway, that you can get caught up in the and what's going on at the time, really.
So yeah.
Would a captain argue a penalty off the ice, or argue the severity?
It's usually with the bench. I think they do that one. So, question 3.
If both captain and alternate are on the ice at the same time, who is allowed to talk to the referee?
Right, Mike, come on. You should know this one.
I'm going to go with the alternate.
I'm going to go with either. Because you're allowed one of them. I think they prefer the captain, but my gut would say either. But you're only supposed to really have one.
You're only supposed to put one in front of the actual officials at the time, anyway.
So maybe it could be like the captain is in the defensive zone with the penalties happened in the attacking zone, and the alternate happens to be nearer to whatever the infraction is, so is more, visible to what's happened. So I suppose I'd go with either.
Why would your captain step down for the alternate?
Because the one player is able to discuss the penalty better. That's all I would think of.
Well, the Team Stripes have said we have all the answers and all references after the weekend. Why not leave your answers on our Facebook page or message us on Twitter? Hashtag Team Stripes.
Yeah. So, but we're always But if you want to check them out at eiha.co.uk, and through their pages, that's where you will find all the Team Stripes questions. I mean, I was chatting with some of the refs the other week about penalty calls, and there was one in the NHL we were discussing about a penalty. It was a penalty shot where the goaltender's stick touched the puck but didn't send it in the wrong direction. It kept going forwards, and the player scored. And was it a goal? And they were like, well, one of the guys went, I think it'd be a goal, and the other guy went, no, it's no goal, because it's classed as a second touch of the puck. It's a double shot, but
you've lost control.
So and they were like, oh, this is an interesting one, this. So yeah, they've come up with some really good ones, and I think it's really good to sort of look at it, particularly when you get things like alternate captains and captains discussing stuff, particularly when at times, and they have been getting better, where players crowd out the officials. And
well, that's the other thing. You do get certain players who think that they have a right to talk to the referee. We can all think of a few, but it's.
I'm going to be controversial here and say basically most of the old Newcastle Vipers team, because I have it on video that they would crowd the officials, including their player coach, and nothing got called. And yeah, it was very frustrating when you're stood there going, but the rule is this, and why are there so many there?
Because they've all haven't read the rules.
Oh, they knew the rules. These were seasoned guys, but they were pushing their luck. So,
talking of seasoned guys, I met someone on the game on Sunday who was from the Liverpool Leopards.
Oh yeah,
and it was his first time coming to the rink. He was actually quite surprised there was a rink because he hadn't known. He said, I was just trawling through, I think it was on things to do, he said, and it suddenly popped up, there's an ice rink in Widnes. Oh, wow. So he popped along to see it and he enjoyed it, and he's going to be coming back.
Well, that's good. Yeah, because the last one I heard, there was a Liverpool Leopards special game the other year over in Deeside, where they got a load of the veterans together for a charity
game. Yeah.
Unfortunately, I wasn't able to go to it, but it's one of the things that you never realise, that Liverpool once upon a time had their own team that played out of the Liverpool rink, and then I think they were playing out of Deeside for a few years before they finally folded. So yeah.
Well, he said he was impressed with the speed. He said he's got a dance like quicker than when I used to play.
Well, no disrespect to the guys, but if he thought that was fast, he should have come the previous week when we played Sutton. That was much faster.
Yes.
But
fifth gear.
But yeah, for those people out there, come along. Don't forget, we've got the games this weekend against the Sheffield Senators away, but they're against the Hull Jets. So I've got a small amount of divided loyalties.
Your loyalties are going to be split, aren't they?
Not really. I have an affinity for the Jets because I've seen them play. I've seen them with different players over the years, and they've always been a team that's. Sometimes they've struggled, sometimes they've really, hit the ground running, and it's sort of an ebb and flow in how their junior development comes through, because you get blocks of players through, and they've always had a good, strong junior development. So I'll be looking forward to seeing the Jets this weekend.
I think Sunday's going to be an interesting game.
It will be, because they're on a roll.
Well, actually, both of them are going to be interesting games. Senators, we won all, aren't we?
Yeah.
So there's a point to prove.
Well, the Jets are currently have reached 4th in the league, 13 games, 18 points. We're on 14 games and 24, but Sutton are on 12 games and 21 points, with Altrincham on the top of the table, 15 games and 25 points. But the Jets have had a right roll at the moment, and they're really coming on strong.
Yeah.
So, it could be a banana skin.
We need to be on the top of the game. I think that's probably why Ollie's got the 2 signings that he made to bolster the squad.
Well, the Jets, of course, signing Kieran Beach back. That is a pair of wheels that you have to keep your eyes on. And that kid can skate, and he's quick, and he's got good hands. And Richie Haggart is doing really well as well. He's right up there in the stats this year. So we've got a few, not just those players, but the entire squad to keep our eyes on this year. So, but the guys know what they've got to come up against with Hull, so it's going to be a feisty one anyway.
Always is.
So, we've got about 5 minutes to go. We'll have a song to play out in a couple of minutes, but yes, it's going to be an interesting weekend. A bit of a top of the table-ish grudge match with the Senators, who've unfortunately slipped down to 5th now after having been 3rd for a while. So they'll be wanting to make some ground up.
Yeah, someone did ask me at the weekend, did I know how much it was to go to the match at the Senators? I said I was unsure, but I doubted if it'd be more than £7.
No, I don't think it is.
No, it was roughly that anyway, I think.
Yeah, most as far as I'm aware, most of the D2 games, £7, like your typical top, anything from £5 to £7, I think.
Yeah, Blackburn was £5 the other week, which I was pleasantly surprised at.
It was the first time we went to Blackburn to see the Eagles, and it was £3 to get in. I'm never one of the mates. I went, wow, yeah, okay. So it caught us off our guard. And we were like, next thing, like, we've got some change in my pocket instead of a £10 note. But no, I must admit, I've been really impressed with a lot of most of the games this year. I mean, the second period last night,
I think we'll forget about that second period really from yesterday and just.
But hopefully, highlights will be going online a little bit later tonight when I get in. So stick around and keep your eyes peeled for that. The podcast for this will be going up as well a little bit later on. But for another week, we're coming to the end of another Time to Go Wild. Normally I say I'm back on Tuesday, but I'm not. I'm back on Thursday nights from 9 o'clock. With Cole's Boxes of Lights here on Halton Community Radio. So if you want to listen to everything from rock to country and pop to the preposterous, we have 2 hours of musical mayhem on a Thursday night from 9 o'clock. And Time to Go Wild will be back next Monday from 7 o'clock here on HCR. So don't forget, you can contact us, check out the social media pages and all our means of getting in touch. Gents, been a pleasure once again.
Thank you.
Good night.
So, until next week, if I press the right button, this is Time to Go Wild. We're playing out with a little bit of Iggy Pop and Real Wild Child. Until next week, ta-ra.